and welcome back to the 410. My name is Adrian, your host, and it's almost that time, Raven Nation, for us to go up to Buffalo and take care of that business this weekend. I'm going to go over some Raven news with you, but first, I'd like to thank everybody that's been supporting. Thank you so much. Please continue to like. Please continue to share. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let's keep this thing going. Pay attention to your notifications. If they're not already on, cut them on. First of all, let's get into the Raven news. First up on deck is Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is still not practicing. It doesn't sound like he's moving towards playing this weekend. Once again, just like I said last weekend against Pittsburgh, we're okay without Zay Flowers in this game. We definitely have a game plan set up. Now, having him out there, it definitely makes the defense game plan a little differently, but they still have to stop the run. And they didn't stop the run last time. And I know everybody keeps saying, oh, they had a few people out last time that's going to be playing this time, and that's going to make the world of the difference. Okay, we're going to see. One thing is for sure, I think we averaged a little over 10 yards a carry against Buffalo. So unless they brung some type of mountain or something like that that's going to stop Lamar and Derrick Henry from going that way, I think we're going to see more of the same. Of course, defense, this is probably going to be a little bit different than last week against Russ. You're going to have to definitely step up, make sure we do the same thing we did originally to Buffalo this week. And that's keep them contained and run away with the game. That way we don't have to sit there and bite our nails throughout the game. Raven Nation. Next up, Lamar Jackson is the MVP. I'll be saying it every day until he wins the award. There's no way that he doesn't get it. MV3. So I was reading something and it kind of made me scratch my head. There was a pundit out there talking about how this game was just as important to Baltimore and Buffalo as the Super Bowl. And I'm not sure where that guy is and what's going on with him. But here in the Raven Nation, this game is not as important as a Super Bowl to us. It's literally nothing close to it. It's a game on the way to the Super Bowl. We're not looking at it like that. So please, you let Buffalo, this can be Buffalo's Super Bowl. This is not our Super Bowl, sir. We're looking at New Orleans to take care of that. Last and not least, down at M&T Bank Stadium on Thursday and Friday from 5 to 9, there'll be a lot of activities. The cheerleaders will be down there. Poe, the mascot, will be down there, and a lot of great things going on. I think on Lot B, they'll stencil the Ravens decal on your car. So if you're not doing anything, go down there, check them out. There may be a few legends floating around, something to do for sure. I'll do my best to update you with any other Raven news that comes down the pipe. But next, we're going to get into last night's NBA action. I sent out the lock last night via a text video, I guess you want to say, to put your money on Oklahoma minus whatever. That was good. Our stack is still growing. If you were paying attention, then you were okay, because I've been telling you we're going to go against Washington every single game. So that was my lock the day before. Hit that. Then Oklahoma last night. First up, Cleveland, Indiana. Cleveland just took a loss to Indiana just a few days ago, so I kind of figured that Cleveland was going to want to get some revenge here. Donovan Mitchell came through, 35 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds into a 127-117 win. Pascal Siakam in the loss with Indiana had 23 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. Next up, the Oklahoma and Philly game, which was the lock of the night. Just like I told you, they covered. At the end of the game was kind of out of hand. Oklahoma pulled most of the people out and had the bench playing against the bench, and that led to a little bit of a comeback, but they still covered the spread. The game was 118-102. SGA ended the game with 32 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds. Oklahoma is back on their winning streak, and I don't see anything stopping anytime soon. They're a really good team, very dangerous. Next up, Phoenix and Atlanta. Ice Trey dropped 43 on them last night to lead them to victory against Phoenix, 122-117. Phoenix had been on a 3-game winning streak up until then. Devin Booker came through, 35 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. KD, I think, had 30 as well. I'm telling you, Devin Booker, KD, they good for like 60, 65 a game. They just played zero defense out there to me. Next up, New Orleans and Chicago. Zion, Trey Murphy back. This one right here, I saw this one coming a mile away. They won 119-113. Trey Murphy had 32 points, 4-6 rebounds, so he has two 30-point performances since he's been back. Zion chipped in, I believe, with 21 points. Zach LaVine, in a loser effort, had 25 points, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds. So Zach LaVine is really balling out there in Chicago. It'll be tough for me to leave him off the All-Star team, but you know, their record isn't that great, but we'll see. Of course, Zion is a force, so once he gets his legs under him, if he can stay on the court, definitely somebody to pay attention to as soon as Brandon Ingram comes back. They might give some people some trouble later on in the year. Moving on, Sacramento, Milwaukee. Sacramento, Doug Christie, 7-game winning streak. They've been holding it down. Milwaukee, they've been playing good as of late. Couple games they dropped, but they still been playing pretty solid. They actually won this game, snapping that 7-game winning streak, 130-115. Giannis with a monster game, 33 points, 13 assists, 11 rebounds. Domantas Sabonis for Sacramento had 28 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. That, like I said, snapped that 7-game winning streak that Sacramento was on. Both two teams playing really good ball right now. Next up, Denver versus Dallas. Dallas, this was the return to Kyrie. Denver, the Joker's been back for a couple games. They're on a little bit of a win streak. They're playing really good ball. I was really looking forward to seeing Kyrie come back. He only finished the game with 11 points, but definitely glad to see him back. So this was the Jamal Murray show. Jamal had 45 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. Denver just sit back, watch him cook. They play again tonight, and actually, this is going to be our lock for the night. Moving on, Brooklyn against Portland. Cam Johnson's return for Brooklyn. Obviously, they need all the help they can get down there, so glad to see him back. Maybe they can make them a little more competitive. It looks like it did the trick last night. They were able to win 132-114 against Portland. However, Scoop came through. I've been asking about where's Scoop. He had 39 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds last night. All right, it's that time. Those best bets and the lock of the day. Here on the 410, we are 7-1. 7-1. Boston, you killed the good dream. We would be undefeated if it wasn't for Boston. Anyways, tonight, quite a few games on tap, so I'm going to get into them for you. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you right now, our lock tonight is going to have to be by law, Denver. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. But first up, it's going to be Philly against New York. Philly's at home. New York looks like they have a bunch of people that may or may not play tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, I believe, has already been named out. So we don't even know who's going to play for New York. Tyrese Maxey, same thing with him. He didn't play last night. So I think this game right here, with so much up in the air, that's 6.5 points. I'm going to take that with Philly at home and see what happens. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to just take that and see. The Celtics against the Raptors. This almost was my lock, but just like I told you, if it wasn't for the Celtics, we'd be undefeated here on the 410. So the only thing I would tell you is take Celtics in the money line. If we have to pick with somebody, obviously I want to pick with Boston, but because they've been killing me, I'm going to have to go with Toronto in the 14.5 points. Until I see Boston cover a spread, they didn't cover against New Orleans. I can't give them 14.5 against anybody. Moving past that, Ice Trey against the Bulls at home. Zach LaVine, he's been doing all he can to get the Bulls a dub. I think he's going to try again to get it done tonight. It looks like they're 2.5 point favorites. I'm going to take them to cover that 2.5 tonight just because they've been trying very hard, and I think they'll figure out a way to get that done tonight. Next game be Orlando going up Milwaukee. Orlando just played Milwaukee pretty tough just a few nights ago. Milwaukee's been playing really good ball, just like Orlando's been playing good ball, but I still see Milwaukee pulling this out at home. As far as the spread is concerned, the 5.5, I'm going to have to take Orlando plus the 5.5. I feel like they'll keep the game close. Next game, Dallas against New Orleans. New Orleans most certainly has caught my eye here in the last couple of days. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to roll with New Orleans, especially being as though they're getting 2.5 points tonight at home. I don't even see how that's possible, being as though it looks like Luka is out and Kyrie did play last night. So is he going to play it back to back? I don't know. He hasn't been playing for a while, so to me it feels like they'll probably rest him. Maybe he'll get back out on the court. But even if he is on the court, Trey Murphy has been playing outstanding. He's having 31 points in the 2 games that he's back. And of course, Zion is a force. So I'll take my chances with that 2.5. Next game, Spurs Grizzlies. Ja Morant at home. Spurs actually been playing really strong ball. I think I'm going to go with the Spurs and the 2.5 at home. Ja Morant the other night hit a game-winning bucket. They've been playing really close games, it seems. I'll take the Spurs and Wembanyama at home and see what happens. Next game, Houston gets Denver. This is my lock for the night. I'm going to have to roll with Denver minus the 1.5. Denver's on a 4-game winning streak. They've been playing really good since Jokic has been back. So I got Denver winning by a bucket, and that'll be my lock for the day. Next game is Charlotte, Utah. Utah's at home. This was almost my lock of the day, believe it or not, was taking Charlotte on the road against Utah. Utah looks like they're resting the majority of their starters, it seems. So I think LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, even though they've only won, I think about 1 road game all year, I think this will be their 2nd road game that they win. Whether or not they cover the points, different story, but I do think Charlotte will win. But of course, I'm not taking Charlotte to cover anything on the road. I'm going to take Utah on the points and just pray that they figure out a way to do that. Warriors, Timberwolves. Timberwolves at home. Timberwolves back on their winning ways. The Warriors up and down all year. I look for Minnesota to win at home. Spread is 6.5. I'll go ahead and take the 6.5 points with all of the uncertainty on the Golden State side. I'm just not sure. Miami Heat against the LA Lakers. LA Lakers at home. LA Lakers have been struggling to get the job done. Miami undermanned without Jimmy Butler. I think tonight they're going to be going up against them without Bam Adebayo playing. So I think the Lakers might end up righting the ship here today. Let's take the Lakers minus the 5.5 to get the job done against the undermanned Miami Heat. However, pay attention because AD and LeBron, I believe, are game time decisions. So many people game time decisions. It's crazy today. Last game of the night, Brooklyn going up against the LA Clippers. LA Clippers, 14.5 points favorite in this game. Brooklyn just coming off a 15-point win last night against Portland on the road. I actually want to take Brooklyn plus the 14.5 on this game. Don't ask me why. I don't have any real reason to do it. I just have a feeling that Brooklyn, with Cam Johnson back and the way that the young boys have been fighting, they'll keep the game a little closer than the 14.5. All right, that's a wrap on the NBA. Good luck tonight if you're putting your bets down. Once again, we are up, and I'm waiting for the big day this weekend to go all in for the Ravens. Thank you for joining me today. Once again, turn those notifications on. Do not miss out. Thank you for tuning in with me today. Go Ravens. You know what we got to do. Once again, my name is Adrian, and I'm your host. I'll be updating you on any Raven news coming up. Have some great content coming for you here in just the near future. So please do whatever you got to do. Cut that notification on. Please like this. Please share it. Let's continue to build. I'm very excited about what we have building here at the 410. The 410.